On that cold winter night, delicate snowflakes danced in the air, casting a shadowy omen over the city. The annual conference of Maxon Corporation was scheduled to take place at an ancient hotel in the city, a place known as the Ephemeral Business Hotel. Perhaps in this city, there was no place more unsettling than this. Situated in the city center, the Ephemeral Business Hotel exuded a thick atmosphere of history. Its brick exterior displayed cracks and weathered marks, as if telling tales of the passage of time. The sparse streetlights swayed, casting the hotel as a colossal ghost silently watching over the city. Executives of Maxon Corporation checked into this seemingly forgotten colossal structure, their busy schedules and the ambience of business negotiations permeating the entire hotel. Meanwhile, the owner, Mr. Maxon, was assigned to the most ominous suite in the hotel, becoming the master of this darkness. As night enveloped the land, Mr. Maxon wearily returned to his suite. The atmosphere inside the room was peculiar, and as he opened the heavy wooden door, a cold air greeted him. The interior was adorned with ancient furniture and carried an air of sedimented history, as if the carpet itself bore the imprints of time. Mr. Maxon wasn't surprised by these elements. After all, this hotel was hailed as a witness to the city's history, and the prevalent antiquity and longevity were part of its charm. However, as he stepped into the bedroom, he sensed a strange presence, as if invisible eyes were watching him. The night was silent, yet Mr. Maxon's ears seemed to echo with faint murmurs. He looked up towards a dark corner where a shadow seemed to be in motion. He attempted to dismiss the uneasy feeling, reassuring himself that it was just fatigue-induced illusion. As he prepared to lie down, the room's lights suddenly flickered, as if brushed by a gust of cold wind. The bedside lamp projected a blurry silhouette, an elderly and withered figure. Mr. Maxon's heart skipped a beat. He thought his eyes were playing tricks on him. "Help! Help me!" The ancient voice, like a whisper in the wind, carried a tone of supplication. Wide-eyed, Mr. Maxon stared at the figure by the bed. He tried to speak, but his throat seemed constricted by an invisible force. The ancient figure gradually took shape, revealing a wrinkled and intersected visage, with eyes deep and dim. "I've been trapped here for many years. You must help me." The ancient voice resonated through the room, laden with sorrow and despair. A cold breeze swept in, as if penetrating his soul. Mr. Maxon finally managed to speak, asking, "Who are you?" The ancient figure smiled faintly, a smile filled with bitter undertones. "I used to be the guardian of this hotel, once a mortal, but now part of this shadow." Mr. Maxon realized that he was entangled in a bizarre event beyond his comprehension. This hotel was not merely a witness to history, it was a vessel for some ancient force. The ancient guardian began recounting his story, a tale of desire, betrayal, and immortality. Through the long night, Mr. Maxon listened, and the Ephemeral Business Hotel seemed to consume his soul. As time passed, the hotel's corridors exuded an ancient aura, and outside the window, snowflakes continued their silent descent. In the heart of the city, a horror story transcending reality quietly unfolded, and Mr. Maxon would become the protagonist of this terrifying drama. As the ancient guardian narrated, Mr. Maxon found himself entangled in an eerie dream about the history of the hotel. His consciousness traversed time and space, placing him in the era when the hotel was constructed. In the dream, Mr. Maxon witnessed the hotel's foundation ceremony. Local residents, adorned in ancient attire, held candles, forming a mysterious circle around the hotel. The founder of the hotel, a mysterious old man, raised an ancient axe high, proclaiming the birth of the hotel. "This is a structure beyond time and space, our stronghold to guard this land," the old man's voice echoed in the dream. In the dream, Mr. Maxon felt a peculiar connection, as if his soul had an unknowable tie to the hotel. When the foundation ceremony concluded, the dream vanished in an instant, and he returned to the reality of his suite. However, this suite no longer resembled the room he had entered. The decorations around had turned ancient and desolate, and the view outside the window seemed to revert to centuries past. Mr. Maxon felt a shock. It was as if he had traversed the mists of time, immersed in the history of this ancient hotel. Stepping out of the room, he found the corridor had also lost its resemblance to the present reality. Paintings on the walls depicted ancient banquets and ceremonies, each narrating a piece of the hotel's history. Mr. Maxon walked up an ancient staircase and entered a shadow-draped hall. A mysterious energy permeated the hall, and the air seemed to be charged with ancient incantations. In the center of the hall, he saw an ancient door covered in runic inscriptions. On the other side of the door was a dark passage that seemed to lead to an unknown realm. Feeling an invisible force propelling him, Mr. Maxon stepped out of the hall, crossing through the ancient door. The passage played with light and shadows, seemingly leading to a realm beyond reality. Upon traversing the door, he found himself in a grand and eerie underground chamber. The walls were engraved with ancient incantations, and the ground was scattered with forgotten history. In the depths of the basement, he saw an ancient bookshelf filled with records of the hotel and an ancient tome. As he opened the book, the text seemed to come alive, narrating the secrets of the hotel. It turned out that the hotel was built by an ancient wizard who used it as a base to conduct a mysterious ritual, connecting the hotel with the ancient guardian. The guardian, the ancient soul beckoned by the night, was trapped in the depths of the hotel, endlessly repeating a ritual of guardianship. This ritual not only bound his soul to perpetually guard the land, but also turned the hotel into a crossroads of time. Mr. Maxon realized he was drawn into the vortex of this ancient ritual. He began to feel the mysterious power within the hotel, and the voice of the ancient guardian echoed once again in his ears. "You are the chosen one. You must complete the ritual and become the new guardian." The ancient voice resonated with solemnity and anticipation. Mr. Maxon found himself entangled in a difficult choice. Should he embrace the mission of this ancient ritual, becoming the new guardian of the hotel? Or should he attempt to escape the cage of time, letting his soul forever wander in the fog of history? Mr. Maxon stood in the ancient basement, caught in the dilemma of choice. He felt the mysterious energy flowing within the hotel, and the voice of the ancient guardian echoed in his mind. To become a guardian is to be forever connected to this land. Your soul will traverse through time. The ancient voice carried profound power. However, thoughts of his business trip mission, his family at home, and everything in the real world flashed through Mr. Maxon's mind. He knew that becoming a guardian might mean never returning to reality, and his life would be perpetually bound by the hotel's timeless essence. Therefore, he decided to seek a way to escape. Flipping through the ancient book, he searched for any clues that might unravel the bindings of a guardian. The book mentioned a mysterious ritual, perhaps the key to breaking free from the role of a guardian. Mr. Maxon initiated an ancient ritual in the hotel's basement, attempting to shatter the shackles of time. He lit ancient candles, recited ancient incantations, hoping all of it would grant him freedom. As the ritual unfolded, the basement seemed filled with mystical energy. Mr. Maxon felt the flow of time, his consciousness traversing moments in the past and glimpses of the future. However, he also understood that this ritual was filled with the unknown, potentially bringing unpredictable consequences. At the climax of the ritual, a powerful force enveloped the entire basement. Mr. Maxon felt as if his body and soul melded into the mysterious ceremony. Everything became blurred and his vision gradually faded. When he woke again, he found himself standing in the hotel's lobby. However, everything seemed to have returned to a semblance of reality. Paintings on the walls depicted ordinary banquets and joyous moments, while the view outside the window showcased the modern city. Mr. Maxon felt a wave of relief. He seemed to have successfully untangled himself from the Guardian's bindings and returned to reality. However, deep within, he retained a hint of inexplicable emotion towards the hotel's mysterious, timeless essence. He went back to his normal life, reuniting with his family. Yet, whenever he passed by that ancient hotel, a subtle and indescribable emotion welled up within him. He knew that the ancient ritual might have been just a fleeting moment in time, but it had changed his life. The conclusion of the story was like a dream about time and choices, the hotel's history, the mystery of the Guardian, and Mr. Maxon's decision left an indelible mark on this ancient structure.